guys, it's Isabella here and welcome back to my channel. So today's video, as you guys can tell, we are going to be doing another anti-MLM reacts video. But today's MLM we're going to be zoning in on is Le-Vel. I love talking about this MLM. As you guys know, this is probably one of my favorite ones because it's like, Le-Vel is off of their own little world, but like they're so damn messy still nonetheless. So today we're going to be reacting to a training Zoom call. I love these. I love seeing all these. And I actually don't think I've like legitimately like zoned into a Zoom call for an entire video, but today that's what we're going to be reacting to. As you guys know, Le-Vel is a health and wellness company. So they have like supplements, patches, etc. I actually did a Le-Vel The Truth deep dive talking about every aspect of the company. So if you are watching this and are curious about Le-Vel, are they good or a bad company, and all the details, definitely go check out the video up here somewhere so that way you guys can see all of it. Again, links and everything will be in the description so you guys can see all the facts I brought to the table. And nonetheless, let's react to a messy ass Zoom meeting. But first of all, before we begin, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell button down below so you'll be notified of every single video I post. And without further ado, let's hop into this anti-MLM reacts video. Let's go. Okay, so this is one that actually is on a YouTube channel right now. So this is a channel that I'm not going to vocalize the name of the people, but I've actually reacted to them several times before. And every time it honestly just keeps getting progressively worse. So they have a YouTube channel that's dedicated to, it's kind of like in a sense a podcast slash combination of training for other people that are a part of it, of Le-Vel. So again, there's like tons of like things for like batch content, like is this motivation low or is this time to grow? Weird shit like that. Anyways, the caption of the one we're going to react to today is earning your VIP bonus, and that's all it says. It's 50 minutes long, so I don't know how much we'll be able to get through it, but let's see how it goes.
Okay. I see the recording. All right. So one of the most common setbacks that people have when they are starting this business is, how do I post without sounding salesy? And that it's huge because we don't want to be those people, right? We don't want to be that girl, right? It's huge. I hear it all the time. So there are certain terms and certain ways you can go about this. First of all, I want to start out with saying you are not a salesperson. Do not think of yourself as a salesperson. Yes, a huge part of how we make money in this business is by making sales, but you are in the business of inspiring people and you are in the business of changing lives.
Oh shit. Okay, so we're off to an absolutely terrible start. So don't think of yourselves as a salesperson. No, think of yourselves as essentially selling a dream. So instead of, trying to actually prove to me, because that, all I hear is, oh, we don't sell a lifestyle. We don't do that. They're literally essentially saying that. This is a team that I think is doing quite well for the higher ups, mind you. And they're preaching. They put this up publicly and they're preaching. Don't think of yourself as a salesperson, which I thought that's all y'all did, but think of yourself as selling. Wow. So if we're going to be super real here, from the conclusion that we can pull from this is they're selling a lifestyle to other people and trying to get people into the dream job.
So you are going to avoid certain terms that we hear all the time, like, oh my gosh, I just started this new journey with this great company called Le-Vel. You should totally join my team. That kind of topic, right? You're going to avoid writing a post and in your post saying every single thing like, so I just started with this new company called Le-Vel. We sell these products. It's most commonly known for the 3 steps. It's step 1, step 2, step 3. You just told them everything they needed to know, right? They don't have any questions. They're not curious. They're like, okay, well, they're just trying to sell me something. That's not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to inspire people to change their lives. So as opposed to saying something like, oh my gosh, join my team, you're going to say, I have decided that it's time that I put myself first and I work towards these goals that are going to change my life. Something along those lines, of course. You're going to say something like, you should lock arms with me. Let's be accountability buddies and let's tackle these goals together. Like, I have what you need to help you get there and let's do this. All
right, there's 2 problems with this. First of all, the statement of, I have what you need to get to that point. If you're new into the business or haven't even tried a lot of the products yet or are even in the business long enough, how in the world are you telling a team to physically say, I have what you need? You don't even know what you need yet. You don't even have what you need yet, but you're trying to have them vocalize that to other people. That's weird as hell. Another thing that I have a big problem with is this is something a lot of MLMs do, where they will try and slither around a lot of shit. So they sometimes will even avoid talking about the company name. They will avoid saying important details because they're hoping that they will have people DM them. The problem is I feel like that's very counteractive, because if you aren't open and honest about something, people are going to be like, that sounds sketchy. Because if I'm looking at that, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious about it. Because, for example, sometimes some people, like, let's say this caffeine solution under eye stuff that I have. Let's say I'm like saying, oh my gosh, I have this great thing for my under eyes and I love it. Not everyone is going to want to like legitimately reach out about that. Like, come on, I'm not going to DM every person that I see that has something cool. I'm going to move on. You know what? That's boring. I'm not going to dig into it. Whereas if somebody's like, hey, I have this, and if somebody looks it up and they can't find how to purchase it, they'd be like, oh, I'm going to purchase it through you. Hey, can I purchase it through you? I just feel like their logic of trying to avoid the important details like makes no sense. And if anything, it makes them look 10 times more sketchy.
I mean, you don't want to, you want to create curiosity within your posts. So if you are writing specifically about every single product you're taking, telling them every single detail about the product you are taking, it's not going to create that curiosity, right?
Wait a minute. I thought you were business owners. Wouldn't business owners genuinely want to be like, hey, look at this product. We've launched it. It's so good. Look. Oh no, my highlighter literally about popped out of the pan. I'm not doing that again. We're holding it nicely. Anyways, wow, look at this. This is a highlighter that I just launched for my business. This is what it looks like. Here's the swatch. It looks amazing. This is how much it costs. This is what it can do for you. This is where you can get it. This is why I love it. That is what you do, especially if you're a business owner. But being like, I have a product that I use and I like it. How is that going to do? That's not going to do shit for anyone. This is, again, leaders of teens giving shit advice. This is what people have to sit through every week or twice a week. I don't know. This is what they have to sit through. Horrific, stupid advice that I can literally say, hey, no, you shouldn't be doing that. That doesn't make any sense. Like, this is so bad.
Right. I'm trying to look. So when you're making your post, try to give like a brief overview of the product without saying the product's name. So for example, if I were to make a post about my 3 steps, I'm going to say, I just added this super quick 20-minute routine into my day in the mornings. It has completely changed the way that I wake up. I'm excited to wake up because I'm no longer tired for the first 2 hours in the mornings. I don't skip my breakfast anymore. My breakfasts are super nutritious now. I'm starting my body off the right way. And I got these amazing wearable nutritions that provide my body with everything it needs throughout the day to keep me going. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, what? Tell me more. And they're going to keep watching your posts, right? And if you're, for example, if you're taking balance, you're going to say, you're not going to be like, I just got this amazing probiotic called Balance. I take it 5 nights a week and it minimizes bloating, blah, 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 blah. No, you're going to say, man, I used to bloat so bad after hearty meals. Like carbs just really got to me. But I started using this like plant-based product and or maybe not use the term product, but I just started using these plant-based capsules and they seriously do wonders for my gut health. If you didn't know anything about gut health, and then fill them in on what gut health affects in your body, because your gut health affects your natural energy levels. If you have bad gut health, it can cause poor skin complexion, bad acne. If you have bad gut health, it can cause poor mental health.
Ooh, okay, so here's when we get into the bullshit of this. So I get it. There is nothing wrong with saying, hey, again, this is the supplement I'm taking. I love it. It works great. This is what's in it. This is what I've been told it does. To me, I feel like it works. I love it. But, since I'm talking about it, make sure you ask your doctor before using it. That's what you need to say. But now we're getting to the thing of now we're making claims of what this can do, which is a little bit weird. And now we're also getting into the part where I'm sure she's not going to be like, hey, make sure at the end of your post to say, hey, talk with the dietitian, a doctor, something. No. That's the problem that I have with Le-Vel is they have they have the 3-step system, and I've actually highlighted this before in a video. But again, if I'm trying to remember correctly, so first they have a shake. then they have a supplement, then they have a patch. All of them are packed with caffeine. All of them are packed with a bunch of vitamins. It is an overload of stuff that no one needs. Like, truly nobody needs. I highly doubt a doctor is going to be like, oh yes, an overload of vitamins, do it. Like, that is not beneficial in any way. Like, it's too much. So them promoting this stuff or this 3-step system or taking the 3-step system on top of other things is not healthy or beneficial. And that's scary because I've had so many people reach out to me saying, yeah, thank you for talking about this company. I went to the hospital because of them, or I have stomach problems because of this shit. I don't know. I mean, mind you, that can happen to anyone. But what I'm saying is this is very irresponsible. It's very irresponsible of them to be promoting these types of things. The products and the business as a whole, but it's scary because this is going to involve someone's health. And now we're getting into wishy-washy stuff, and I don't fuck with that, you know?
And it's connected to a whole bunch of things. So maybe talking about what the product provides for you as opposed to the product itself. Ryan, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, so the tips that I have written down are a little bit different. So those are all very, very important, is like wording. You want to avoid words that will automatically turn people off. Some ideas of words, like Katie's more talking on posts and phrases and how to talk about your opportunity and your products. There's also words that you should just avoid and phrases you should avoid, like join my team, here's my link, cost, price, product, honestly. Like, all of those words are just kind of you know, you don't.
God, okay, the first one, join my team, yeah, that's bullshit. Don't ever say that. However, avoiding sharing prices, avoid saying the word product. What? Avoid. Listen, dude, if somebody says, hi guys, I have a hairbrush, and this post goes viral, and if she does not tell me where to get this damn hairbrush, I'm scrolling. I'm going to find it somewhere else. I'm not going to sit and take my time to dig and DM a bunch of people to figure it out. I'm not going to do that. That's irritating. That's not convenient. Most people are going to look at that and be like, that's not convenient. That's a waste of time. Screw it. I'll get something somewhere else. Or they'll look up that type of product online and find it somewhere else. That's a shitty way of getting people to be interested. How is that a turnoff to say, hey, this is the price? If it's so good and so worth the value, wouldn't you want to be upfront and say, hey, this is the price? And again, wouldn't a business owner be like, hey, this is the supplement that I use. It's $25, but this is why it's worth the $25. We're not thinking logically here at all.
You gotta try to think of what words would turn you off if you were reading somebody's post and what would make you scroll right by.
You know what's so funny? The woman that's speaking right now, I'm gonna pull this up because I think this is a very important time to let her shine, because she says, and I quote, don't try and think of things that would turn you off immediately if you were reading someone's post. I'm probably going to find something. First post that I see. This is a picture that she has shared, and it has in the top right-hand corner, $8,840,313. $8 million sales in 2.5 years, because I started. Then she started. Then she started. Then she started. The scariest moment is always right before you start. After that, you figure it out as you go, and it's easier. Get serious about your future, because, hey, the secret to getting ahead is getting started. I'm sorry, but that's cringy as hell. That sounds like a turnoff in my opinion. Boasting about money, boasting about that stuff. Raise your hand here if you'd be like, oh my God, a girl's vocalizing how much money she's made. I want to join. No, literally, if my favorite hair care company was like, oh my God, guess what, guys? Guess what? We sold this much in product and we made this much money. I'm going to be like, what the hell why are we sharing that? Like, this is also another perspective that I have. If you have money, if you actually are wealthy, you don't need to flaunt it like that. The people that genuinely have money and genuinely have wealth are not the ones throwing it around like fucking confetti. You know what I mean? They are quiet about it because their wealth speaks for themselves. They don't need to flash it to prove a point. This is it's a turnoff for me because it's trying to flash something. It's a damn neon sign for what? I don't know, freaking like a theme park. It's a neon flashing sign for a theme park, and you get there and it's a shit theme park. You know what I mean? This is bad. So this is the girl that's like, don't post anything that you think would be a turnoff. That was the biggest turnoff I've ever read. Girl, what are we doing?
Talk about you. That's a huge part. Katie has something written down in her notes that I know she has, but it's like, don't think of yourself as a salesman. Think of yourself as a blogger.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, you are not sitting here trying to sell the products and the business. You're trying to sell yourself, because people will always buy you before they buy into whatever you have your hands on, right? They have to trust you first. If people aren't reaching out to you and they aren't asking you questions, it's because of three things. They either don't trust you, they don't trust the product, or they don't trust the company. And so it's your job in your post to make them trust all of those things. And the way to make them trust you is by talking about yourself. And so write posts like speaking into the future and talking about your goals and talking about how long you see yourself doing this. Like, it's hard to sign up promoters at the very beginning because people want to make sure that they are joining somebody that's in it for the long haul. And they've seen 1,000 girls start a new business on Facebook before and quit within a couple weeks, right? And so they don't want to join somebody that's going to quit on them. And so you need to instill that trust by telling them, like, this is my goal. This is the rank I'm going for. This is what that bonus is going to do for me. This is how I'm going to get there.
Oh, and again, so we are talking about things that don't even exist yet. When you're joining this business, she's pretty much saying, oh, we need you to build trust with your audience. Building trust is not talking about things that you don't even have yet like that. In the sense that, you know what I mean? You need to be able to be authentic, because now we're getting into the point of she's going to want you to post about the business and find a way to incorporate it, that are the products, all the time. That's all you're going to talk about. And that's what we run into with a lot of these Le-Vel girls or anyone in MLM. What they do is they talk about, I don't know, a trash bag, for crying out loud, which I've actually seen in a video one time. A trash bag or groceries. They will talk about that, but then literally after the first paragraph, they immediately switch over and they're like, that's why I have this, like, I'm able to do this because of the business. That's like, stop. It doesn't make people trust you. It's very like, we're going with that. It's not a regular everyday post. It's, I'm talking about the business. And that's the difference between actual influencers and bloggers versus people that are in MLMs. We can talk about whatever we want, anything. We're not like talking about like influencing all the time. We're talking about makeup, lifestyle, traveling. We're talking about every other regular everyday shit, right? We're talking about our passions that we've learned to help use it as a way of making money without it being too irritating. However, this is all I'm going to talk about the business. I won't shut up about it. I won't leave it alone, instead of being able to just post normally. To me, I don't personally see how that's going to build trust if you post certain things like they're talking about now. I don't visually see that to be a successful thing at all. It seems irritating. It seems annoying. Like, I couldn't deal.
This is how I'm going to help you hit your goals. Maybe you want to quit your job and come home full time. Maybe you want to take your kids out of daycare. Maybe you want to pay off hundreds of thousands.
I know I'm pausing this real quickly and I'll stop, but so we want people to talk about things that will not happen. You want people to sit there. This is the thing that's going to piss me off. You're wanting to have people put themselves out in a vulnerable position and say, oh, I'm going to make a lot of money. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. But we know statistically they're not going to get there. That's as sad as it is, they're not going to get there. So you want them to be put in a very vulnerable position in the hopes that people would join more of your team, because these top leaders are the ones that want this to happen. So that way those poor women, when they finally need to tap out and call it quits, are the ones that are going to feel like shit because they already told everyone what they were going to do with this business and it's not working. So now they are going to feel miserable, they're going to feel embarrassed, and they're going to feel ashamed. That is not okay. I am sick of this shit, man. I'm fed up.
Hundreds of $1,000s of student loans. Like, talk about your big dreamy goals, because that's what's going to make people realize that you want to stick around. And that's what's important. And the same thing goes for the product. Like, you want people to trust the product, and you want people to trust that you know what you're selling. And so educate them. Talk about like what Katie was saying about how, you're going to talk about, instead of saying, I'm taking these new probiotic pills every night, you're going to talk about why they work for you and why nothing has worked for you in the past when it comes to bloating. Like, you're going to talk about how Anytime you ate something, whether it was a banana or a piece of pizza, you bloated until you looked 6 months pregnant. And these are the only things that have helped you, because that's what people are going to relate to.
That's weird though. Why are we talking about products and trying to instill promoters and say, hey, say that this is the only thing that worked for you? Why? How do we know if it's working for them? So you want everyone to just talk like this, which we do see with people under her team. But yeah, guys, every other highlighter sucks ass. This is the winner. This is the only one that's worked for me. Nothing shines brighter than my shit. Like, God.
I'm not going to relate to you saying, I'm taking this new digestive enzyme. You know what I mean? So make sure that you're being as specific and relatable as possible. And talk about yourself. I mean, another way to make sure you're not sounding salesy is to read your post aloud. And if you wouldn't say your post out loud to like your best friend or your husband or your mom, it's too salesy. It's too robotic.
I can say absolutely anything to my mother. Absolutely anything. My best friend, Deanna, my bitch, my girl. I can say absolutely anything to you and it's not going to be weird. We're going to think of it as everyday stuff. No. If you would want to say this to a perfect stranger, then it's probably too much. And what's sad is 90% of the people's captions or posts is too salesy and too much that they wouldn't genuinely want to say it to somebody in person, like ever. This is so bad.
It's not natural, you know? So read your post out loud and say, okay, I would never say that sentence out loud, so it's not going in my post. You know, okay, I would never end a conversation that way, so it's not going in my post. You know, you wouldn't go up to somebody in the store and say, hey, join my team. There's a really good sale going on today. Join my team. You wouldn't say that, but you might say something like, you know, I've got a really good business opportunity going on. I know that you have been struggling with, you know, dropping your kids off at daycare every day, and you've been complaining to me about that. You know where to find me. Like, that's so much more natural.
No, it's not. If somebody walks up to me and says, hi, I know you're struggling and all, but put more money down the drain with me, I would be so done. Oh, what? No, this is terrible advice.
More natural. And that's something that you would actually say to somebody to help them out. So kind of run a filter through things like that. And then I wanted to also stress batch posting. Like, if you haven't been getting on batch posting Zooms, you absolutely need to. And if you haven't got on one of them, go to the team page, search batch posting in the search bar, and then go and watch one of our old like replays. We post all of the links to all the YouTube videos on that post. So they're all recorded on there. And those are the kind of posts and topics that are going to be so helpful for you guys to be able to put out there right now. And it's going to help you write about yourself, because I know it's a little awkward at the beginning to write about yourself and start talking about yourself. But it does get easier, and it's a lot easier when you have a prompt. And so on batch posting, that's what it is. It's just a bunch of prompts, and they're very helpful. Should we move on to the next?
I think so. Yeah. I think that's a good lead off into this next topic. This next topic is, if you don't post, you just started your business, right? But you never were really posting on Facebook a lot. You never were really posting on Instagram a lot. So how do you ease into it without scaring people off, right? How do you ease into it without people being like, whoa, okay, you know what I mean? And that wraps back around to talking about yourself as opposed to the product and the business. I want you guys to write down these 4 things real fast. These 4 things are going to be, and Ryan might give you some more as well, but these 4 things are going to be what you really want to write about this week while you're in your VIPs. You're going to write about what made you want to change. So what made you decide that what you were doing before you started this business wasn't enough for you anymore? Was it, working the same mundane, waking up, going to work, coming home, making dinner, going to bed? Were you just over it? You had enough? Did you need more purpose? Did you need more fulfillment? what was it that made you want this change? Write about that in terms of yourself, but also in terms of something someone else can relate to.
Okay, so this is a shit prompt. And the reason why I'm saying this is, again, I'm sure we can all sit here and that prompt that she just said about what made you change, what made you make the decision to say yes. We've heard that with every MLM, every post, every single one of them, all of it. How is that good if you're suggesting your team to do the absolute same shit? What is this? We aren't even doing a, hey guys, here's 6 different prompts. Pick one of them. The same one. Everyone says it. Everyone says the same damn little, thing. I started because I was tired. I started because I was sick and tired of being tired. I started because I'm a broke person. I wanted to be home with my kids more. And now guess what? I'm home more on my phone, but you can too. You want to know how? Join my team. Oh, I'm sorry. I have a business opportunity for you. Boss babe. Girl, no. This is so bad.
My biggest tip for writing about this in terms of somebody else can relate to is using the term she or her, writing to somebody specifically. The next one is, did you join for the products? And if you did join for the products, what were your goals with them? So this, for example, you could write about being a new mom and being exhausted all of the time, living off an entire pot of coffee a day, even just being busy with your job, as if maybe you're a nurse or you work in a hospital and you're exhausted all the time. You started taking these products, you saw how much energy they gave you, you saw how much they could help you, and you realized that this was something that everybody else needs, because it is. That's the great thing about this product, you guys, is it's something everybody can use, whether it's for weight loss, weight gain, energy, overall health. Everybody needs to be taking vitamins. It's just the way it is. Did you join for the money?
No, actually. Literally no. Okay, so no. So I have learned, and again, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I've learned, if you take a bunch of stuff and if you really are not lacking in a department, I don't know, vitamin A, D, I don't know. If you're not lacking, there's not really a need for that, because if you have if you eat regularly, if you eat, right? I know, exciting. If you eat, if you drink water, if you do all of that, most of the foods that we have a regular amount of vitamins in it. And from what I've learned, because I've asked some doctors about this, they've said, hey, you don't need to take all that shit. You don't. It's fine if you just eat normally and eat a pretty balanced meal and drink, you're fine. Drink water. You're fine. Not everyone needs this. This is really weird.
If you did join for the money, that's totally fine. Write about that, because somebody else probably needs more money in their life too. What are you planning on doing with the money? When you hit your bonuses, what's the first thing you're going to do? Are you going to invest? Are you going to buy yourself a new computer that you've been wanting for so long? How has your day-to-day changed since starting your business? Are you no longer mundane like you were, waking up, going to work, coming home, going to bed? Do you feel more fulfillment? Are you working closely? Have you built friendships? Have you pushed yourself and figured out that you are capable of so much more than you realized? Because I'm sure you have. That's the great thing about this business, is it takes us out of our comfort zones and it helps us realize that we are so capable, right? So I want you guys to write about those this week. And right below that, I have written down what Ryan said earlier is remember, you're not a salesperson. You are a blogger, okay? You're trying to relate to people and you're trying to inspire them. Because that's the most rewarding part about this job, is when you reach out to people, you find that person that really needs a change and you help them transform their lives. There's nothing more rewarding than that. And most importantly, when you're making these posts, have confidence in yourself, have confidence in your journey. Because you guys, even though you are all in your VIP periods right now, you are leaders. Whether you have a team or not, you are leaders. And so show up as leaders in your posts, and everybody else is going to see you that way. If you show up with confidence, your following is going to have confidence in you. You once you have that confidence, once they see that you are confident in your decision to join this business, they're going to be like, all right, I should probably join her too, because what the heck am I doing? Like, she's so confident.
Okay, sometimes I feel like a lot of people at MLM sadly have this perspective that the people that are on the outside of the MLM are either haters or we are just absolutely blown away and obsessed with them and what they do. And I don't think that's true at all. Like, they think that we either want to be them or are absolute, like, we hate them as people, which we don't. We just absolutely hate the company. But I feel like their blissfully ignorant confidence in this stuff is a big turnoff, because sometimes some people can be like, I am going to go to the moon. I'm going to do it on my own, not with NASA, on my own. There's some, like, you know, like when there's a kid, you know what I mean? Like, there's a 5-year-old that walks up and they're like, I'm going to go to the moon all by myself. You're like, good job. You know what I mean? I feel like it's that, you know, where you see somebody that's just absolutely like, I'm so excited about this business opportunity. And you're like,
She's so sure of herself. I want to be confident and I want to be sure of myself too. Brian, do you have anything to add to that topic?
Just to confidence. Yeah. Confidence will never be handed to you on a silver platter one day. Like, you're not just going to wake up one day and be confident in yourself. There's still days that I'm not. There's still days that Katie's not, you know, but it's something you have to actively work towards strengthening every day. Think of your confidence as a muscle, and the only way to make it stronger is to constantly work it out every single day. And if that means that you need to fake a little bit of confidence in your posts at first until it feels more natural, then absolutely do it. But that's the only way that you're going to actually gain confidence and, you know, get some achievements under your belt that do make you confident and do make you like proud of yourself and make it easier for you to be more bold in your posts. So that's all I have to say about confidence. Is it's not easily going to be given to you one day unless you're actively working towards it every single day. Do you want me to?
I was going to add to the, like, getting the achievements under your belt. Any life that you change is an achievement. Any person that you inspire is an achievement. So somebody comments on your post and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so relatable. Girl, I felt that. That's an achievement, because you just spoke to that person's soul. You know what I mean? Any order you place, that's an achievement, because you just got this life-changing product into their hands. So share about that. When you get an order, make sure you are posting that onto your stories so people can see that you are changing lives.
Yeah. And like, once somebody tries the products and maybe that you get a good review and they text you and they just say like, oh my gosh, I haven't had to have coffee this morning, screenshot that, put it on your story, you know, get testimonials out there and those little things. An achievement doesn't necessarily need to be like a rank up or anything like that. It can be smaller things, but you have to share your small wins in order to have bigger wins. So, getting into the habit of posting, some of the stuff I have written down is to set alarms. Just to get into the habit of it. It is hard to get into the habit of posting a couple times a day on Facebook when maybe you used to post once every 6 months.
Okay, this is another problem that I'm noticing with a lot of people in Le-Vel specifically. This is a team that I've actually called out big time before because they have a big problem with this, which one we're going to talk about right now, which is the overload of posting. So here's the thing with Instagram, Facebook, all of that. Facebook is not as significant so for example, Facebook is not as great as Instagram. Instagram is pretty good, but honestly not as good as like TikTok, for example. What I'm trying to get at is like there's certain different hierarchies with platforms. One, there's also certain different things that are prioritized per platform. There's also there's many things involved. So let's just talk about Facebook, okay? If you overpost on Facebook, you're just not going to get showed as much and you're going to look irritating. They don't want to seem annoying. Why would you post multiple times a day. There's no need for that. There's legitimately no need for that. On Instagram, they were actually somebody that literally promoted this multiple times on your feed and stories. That is too much, and that's not even beneficial. They're not even talking about like specific times to post, which according to per Instagram page, there's specific times to post. You can't just go with a generic one. There's analytics that you need to zone into. Also, posting several times a day on your feed is not going to really benefit you a ton. Like, sure, maybe an in-feed post and a reel and some Instagram stories, that's fine. But when you're posting so much, like constantly, all the time, sometimes it's not going to do as much as you think, and it's going to become irritating. And if you're posting that much, you're going to run out of stuff to talk about, and it's going to get repetitive and annoying. Like, this is very counterproductive. This is why I talk about how these leaders don't know what they're talking about, like at all.
If that, right? And it was probably because you had a baby, you got married, you graduated high school, like big life events. And now you're writing actively every day and talking about yourself. It's going to be a change. And so in order to make that change easier, set alarms for yourself. Make sure that you set alarms to get on the meetings until those are a habit as well, because on the meetings, we put our first post up, we put our evening post up. And if you're on batch posting, you have all your evening posts written for the whole week, So I will say, if you guys didn't get on batch posting on Sunday night, definitely go and rewatch an old rerun on our YouTube and write out some posts tonight to make it easier for yourself this week. But set alarms for twice a day, just one in the mid-morning, one in the evening, so that you can get at least 2 posts up a day on Facebook. And then same thing goes for stories. We need to have at least 10 story slides up a day, and getting into the habit of that might also be just as hard. So make it a habit that every morning when you do your 3 steps, you take a picture of them and you put it on your story right then and there. And then maybe go into your alarms and set an alarm for every 2 hours for the next 5 hours of the day. That way it'll go off and you'll go, okay, I already added to my story. No, I don't need to worry about that one. Or you'll go, oh crap, I haven't added to my story in a bit. But it'll constantly remind you until you can eventually shut those alarms off. And then it'll just be intuition that oh crap, I haven't posted.
What? No, you shouldn't be that zoned into stuff. Okay, I get it. If you have social media as a job, I've been there, done that. You know what I mean? I've been overly beyond obsessed. But again, I also was I knew where this was going. I knew I could make something happen. But I also knew that there was a limit. There was a limit of how much I could post, because it would get repetitive, annoying, and people would not give a shit anymore. This is going to make people not give a shit anymore.
In a couple hours. So it does get easier. Also realize that there's only one heavy post a day. And by heavy, I mean the ones that we write on batch posting, the longer posts. The post talking about ourselves, the post talking about our goals, about the opportunity, about the business, about the products. The other ones are easy. So have fun with it. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't stress yourself out. Don't think, well, I just have a really boring life. I don't have anything to post about. I don't go out and do much. I'm at home all the time. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm at home every single day, all day. Katie's at home every day, all day, and we find things to write about. There's a ton of other leaders on here that are at home every day, all day. And we find things to write about. And a lot of that has to do with self-development, which I'm going to talk about in a second, because that's where I want you guys to focus. But make it fun. Don't overthink it. Know that you will get better at it every day. It'll get a lot easier to post, and it'll start coming a lot more naturally. Think of all of this as a muscle, with the confidence muscle. You have to constantly strengthen it to where it'll come easier to you, And then one day you'll be sitting here and you'll have posted for a whole year, and your Facebook memories will start popping up, and you're going to be able to copy and paste that stuff every dang day because you already did the work a year ago.
God help me. That's chef's kiss. Magnificent example of what not to do ever. What I get using some of your old content, but directly copy and pasting absolutely everything You think people are not gonna pick that up? This is so embarrassing. I'm gonna teach you how to do social media on our team, and you're gonna know how to grow organically. This is terrible advice. This is so bad. People are gonna know. This is competitive. This is not really that smart. Again, reusing and reutilizing some content is fine. Yes, but directly copying that shit? Weird.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I don't, not me. I do. I'm just kidding. I totally do that. But I'm like,
but you can make a post based off your old posts. Absolutely.
Yeah. Like I already did the work, so why not? I did write that. It was just a whole year ago. Exactly. And then another thing to get into the habit of posting is making sure you have a call to action up every day. So make sure on your stories that you always have a poll up or a quiz up, or, something on the end of like your heavy post for the day that says, you know where to find me. My inbox is open. My DMs are open, that kind of thing. Like, let's have a conversation about this. Because if you don't have a call to action up every single day, there's no reason for someone to message you, So make sure that you have an unfold story up about the products or the business on your stories every day with a call to action. That is so crucial during your VIP period because you need a handful of enrollments. And the best way to get that is by having a little button that's very convenient for people to press because it is way more likely that someone is going to tap a button than actually send you a DM. And while it's very simple to do both, it's just way more likely that someone taps a button on a poll than goes all the way down and starts writing you a message. That's what I have for that topic.
Yes, I want, and also, also make sure you are focusing on your warm market specifically. So whether your warm market is like your close friends, friends you haven't talked to in a while.
Yeah, okay, so the warm market is a fancy word for family and anyone I haven't talked to in a couple years, like high school friends. That's who I'm gonna hit up. That is, God, I gotta hit some quotas. You wanna like buy from me? I'm not doing that shit. That is nope.
While, but you've known for your entire life, your friends as parents, your aunts, uncles, whoever those people are, make sure you are talking to your warm market every single day during your VIP period. You're interacting with them, you're reaching out to them. Those are people that already trust you. Therefore, they're going to be more urgent in wanting to buy from you and wanting to support you. Make sure you're also focusing a ton on getting trials out. If you signed up with a 400 pack, you have 10 trial mail outs. You have so much product that you're able to get out. And the sooner you get those trials out and into people's hands, the better, because the sooner that's going to turn into a 3-step sale for you. So focus a ton on your warm market and getting trials out. Also, like Ryan said, consistency in meetings. When I was new in my first month, I made it a priority to get on 2 meetings every single day. Batch posting back then was twice a week. I was getting on every single meeting, not because I wasn't necessarily working through every single meeting. The evening meetings I would play through because I'd be, cooking or whatever. However, it helped me get into the habit of posting. It helped me really engrave into my brain what the IPAs are that I needed to be doing in order to grow and to be successful in this. So even if you're driving in your car home from work and the sus meeting is on, play it so you can get used to hearing what you need to be doing. Try to make those a priority every single day. If you are unable to get on the meetings at all, like if you work, whatever, make a list of the IPAs. They're typed out in the Unit 1 training. Make a list of those and have them either on your phone or hanging somewhere. I have mine hanging in front of my work.
This all sounds so much. Like imagine coming home from your work, like your job or a nursing job. I don't know what you do. Just imagine coming home from work and then being like, shit, I got to get on this damn call that you sit through and it's shit like this. I would be so pissed and I'd be so fed up. This is probably why people are turned off by this. These meetings are not helpful. They suck. There's no like, all right, guys, happy Monday. We got some shit to do. This is what we're going to do today and how we're going to do it. Let's check in. Like, this is so mundane and just, ugh, I hate it. I hate it all. Okay, so you know what, guys? I think we've listened to a decent amount of this. I may do another video or continue this on with a part 2. I'm not too sure. Who knows? We'll see. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, though. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what you thought was the shittiest advice from today's video. I need to know. What was the worst advice? Tell me, and tell me your reasoning, because I gotta know now. All right. I love you all, and I will see you in the next video. Stay glowing, my beautiful queens. Love you. Bye.